welcome back to the Unraveling Soprano. This is my channel where I talk about all of my makes from the week, whether that be mostly knitting, crochet, or sewing. So let's get into it. What am I wearing? What am I wearing? I am wearing the Winter Moonlight Cardigan by Mini Me Knits, and it is in West Yorkshire Spinners Color Lab in electric blue, mixed with held double with a Drops Kid Silk in Marine Blau. I think the number is like 28. I did this last year. This is actually a really fun knit. I think you do the shawl collar. You do like a professional cast on in the back, and then you do the shawl collar, and it's a lot of like back and forth in garter stitch, and then you do these sleeves in the round. It's a dropped sleeve, and it's just really good for just bumming around the house, or if I want to have like just something drapey to throw on. So that is this sweater. As far as finished objects, no finished objects this week, but I did have chaotic cast on energy. I have had just kind of a crazy week today, or just kind of a crazy week this week, not today. And I just kind of cast on all the things. So one of the things, originally I was going to knit the teddy bear sweater by Petite Knit, but then I looked at it and it was just a raglan sweater with some embroidery, and I was like, do I really want to pay for that? I mean, I'm sure it's lovely. Her patterns are lovely and easy to follow, and it's great, but I was like, with what I'm planning on spending this like fall and winter on knitting patterns and all of that, I was like, well, this is an area where I could save a little bit. So I decided to go with the good old raglan from Twisted. Ooh, it's gonna be one of those days where I can't say anything. Great. Good old raglan by Twisted Knitwear. It's just a basic raglan pattern. I made the size, or I'm making the size 1 to 2 years. And where's the front of this? Okay, so this is what I got so far. I am basically almost done. I just got to finish, I think like maybe like an inch or so in the sleeve, and then a couple rows of rib, and then I have to block it and then do the embroidery. I found this pattern. It's a good pattern. It's a good basic raglan pattern, especially for kids. I found, because the original pattern is, I think, written for striping, it was a little hard for my eyes to follow, and so I ended up kind of playing fast and loose with this pattern. It's a little weird in the raglan shaping. I ended up casting on way more stitches on the underarm, but because it's for a child and most children are pretty, I don't know, conical shaped, I think it'll be okay. And if not, I mean, I actually I do think it'll be okay. It might be a little big, a little oversized, because this looks a little big for 1 to 2 years. Looks like a 3-year-old, but I also don't know what the recommended, I can't tell you what the recommended ease is for the pattern. It might be just supposed to be a little bit oversized just for like ease of getting it on. I do like how big the neckline is. I think that like getting this over a child's head is going to be okay. And I just think it's going to be really cute. I love how it did up. The yarn I used was Cotton from Knit Picks, and I can't remember the blend, but it's like mostly cotton with a little bit of linen. It does not feel linen-y. Like, it doesn't feel like how linen sometimes is a little rough. That's not what this feels like. This feels mostly cotton. Is it hard on my hands? Yeah, it's a little hard on my hands, but it's knitting up so quickly that, I mean, it's fine. I'm just gonna have to maybe like soak my hands in hot water after I'm finished with this, and before I move on to it. Like if I'm gonna finish this and then go on to another project in the middle of the day, I'll just have to like soak my hands a little bit and I should be okay. But yeah, that's almost done. Very excited about how quick that was being knit up. Where did I knit this on? I knit this on 3.25 millimeter needles, or a US 3. I think it's written for a 4. Maybe a little bit, maybe it's written for a 6. Maybe it's been written for a US 6. So I took my needles way down because that's usually what I need to do for pretty much all standard patterns. I have to like go down 2 needle sizes, and if it's for me, I go down 2 needle sizes and then down at least 1 size from what I would normally knit if I were like to buy like ready wear or ready to wear. And that usually works out. It still ends up being a little big, but I don't feel comfortable going down 3 needle sizes or 4 needle sizes because I don't want the fabric to be just really, really stiff. So, yeah, so that is the good old raglan. The next thing I did, I took a look at, from last week, I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to cast on the cutting edge vest. And I took some time, and I really thought about it, and I was like, do I really want my first steeking project to be something that might fall apart because the yarn is not really suited for steeking? Like, it's a superwash yarn that I'm using. Do I really want to do that? Because the fear is that it will fall apart and I'll never want to steek again. So I was like, okay, I'm going to put, and also I was like, am I going to wear a vest? I can't see myself. I've made vests before and they just kind of sit in my closet. And so I'm like, if I can't make it into a sweater, I don't think I'm going to wear it. So this could be just a project that immediately goes to donation and or like gets rehomed to somebody I know when I really wanted this yarn for me. So what I did instead was I found a free pattern online. Oh, I should have put some needle stoppers in this. And I'm making the deep wood sweater from Drops Design. And I haven't gotten very far in this. What's neat about this is it's a raglan, but it's got cabling down the sleeves. And so when I get to, so I put in my raglan markers, and it did not have any short rows. Where am I in this pattern? Oh, it's been a couple. I decided to spend more time on the kid sweater. So I stopped this in the middle of the week, and I really should have put stoppers in because I think I stopped at the beginning. I may have to rip this back and start over. I don't know. Because I have no idea where I am right now. I think from what I'm seeing, okay, yeah, okay. I'm at the beginning of a round. Because this is where I attached my tail. So I did some short rows, and then I just kind of knit everything around. I am going to actually put this over here so I actually know that I have to do something with this before or once I end this video. Okay, I need to actually deal with this so I'm not completely confused because I want to work a lot on that this week. And so I put in some short row shaping just to raise up the neck a little bit because I don't want it to feel like it's choking me. And also, like, I find that if it doesn't have short rows, it looks like a boat neck on me, and I don't love that for me. I feel like it makes my shoulders look really wide. And I don't love that proportion on me. Like I've seen lots of people who like really go for the wide shoulders and it looks great on them. I just don't love it on me. So that's the deep wood sweater. And then my flow up socks, I didn't touch this week. they actually might be in timeout for a bit because I think it's that twisted pattern. I just don't want to do it. Like, I just don't love the process of doing it, and it looks really, really cool. But since it takes so long, and I don't love, it's very fiddly. And I like when I do cables, I like them more, maybe not open, like more of like a relaxed cable, because like this isn't even an actual like cable. It's just you're twisting stitches. And so like you're not knitting into those stitches, you're just twisting them and slipping them. And for me, that like it ends up being really tight and hard to maneuver, and I just don't love doing it. But I will finish it because it's a cool pattern. I just think I need some time away. And then my last whip is my shouldering autumn. I barely worked on. I don't even know if I did work on this week. Let's see. Where's my? Whoop. I barely worked on this. Wait a minute to untangle because it's been sitting for a week, so the yarn has. Yeah, so I didn't really touch this. That's how far I got. I think that's maybe 2 rows. Let me hold it up for a second so you can actually see. Yeah, so I did not get to this because, again, I was working on the good old raglan, and I was so excited with the progress on that I did not touch this. Also, I find that like when I have like hectic weeks, I find that if I work on gift knits, I feel somehow more productive. So I feel like I'm doing something, and it's not just something for me, it's something for somebody else. And so it's better for my mental health sometimes. So I think that I need to like kind of give myself some slack for not continuing the shouldering autumn, even though I would love to have that soon because it's starting to get cold. It's not cold yet, but it's cold enough that I can wear this and not melt. So we're getting there. Fall is inching towards us. So those are my whips. And now on to acquisitions. I have one acquisition. I was able to get the Memory Lane book. I got this from Woolen Company because it was everybody's kind of pricing it around the same from what I'm seeing, but it was the best overall price when you included tax and shipping. So the shipping was free, and so I think I ended up spending with tax $35. And I think that that's well within what I was. I mean, it's I've been like just kind of looking through. It's definitely worth that. It's just my budget. Like I wanted to get this sooner rather than later so I could start what sweater am I doing? I'm gonna flip through this, and this is not exactly great content. So I will just put a picture of the sweater that I'm planning on knitting in the corner. So yeah, so I'm really excited to have this book because I can also see that like there's just a couple more patterns that I'm gonna want to knit on this. So that is my latest acquisition. For plans for the week, I'm going to probably as soon as this video ends, I'm going to go finish that good old raglan. I'm gonna want to work on the deep wood sweater. I think that that's just gonna be a fun. I want that sweater. Like I want that yarn because I love the color, and I think that if it turns out the way I hope it will turn out, it will become a most loved piece because the yarn, since it's a superwash, I can throw it in the washing machine on a gentle cycle and have a lot of wear. And I will finally get to use this yarn, or like get to wear this yarn that I was so excited when I purchased it. Like it was like one of my favorite colors that I had seen on Knit Picks. I was so excited about it. And then the fact that it's just been lingering in my stash or lingering in a poncho, because it's like repurposed yarn, and not being worn, just kind of annoys me. And so I'm excited to get that. I'll be excited to get that off the needles and actually wearing it. So hopefully, I don't think I'll have to have it finished for next week, but maybe in 3 weeks. I think that'd be a good. We'll see. We'll see. It's how life goes in between now and then. And then I want to I want to cast on a pair of DRK Everyday Socks. I really want to do a gift knit a week. I think that that would just kind of make me feel better, make me feel productive, if nothing else. So yeah, I have 3 pairs of gift nets that I want to do, and I think maybe I'll do one a week if I can get that done. I feel like my fall plans that I put out a couple weeks, I have just kind of gone off the rails. Like, I'm not doing the vest. I'm not doing like the shawl. I immediately changed. I think I changed the second shawl that I was planning on doing. So I think that yeah, maybe like fall plans should, if I do this again, like if I do like a winter plans video, maybe I should really like wait until like we're closer to winter. Or at least start some of these projects and see. Because I often get to the point where like I'm about ready to start a project, and if I get a lot of resistance at the beginning, I'm like, oh, am I gonna continue this? Like because it's kind of what I'm having with the flow up socks. I'm having some resistance as far as ease of doing it. And I have to like weigh, is the ease, like the difficulties I'm having, is it balancing with the process? Like, am I having fun otherwise? That I can go through these hurdles? Or is it every single row? I'm just like, ugh, I hate this. Um, so yeah, and I really hope that I can figure this out enough to like not completely frog the flow up socks, because I'm sure with everybody else, it's not a bad pattern. It's not. It's a well written pattern. This is just the process of it for me is um not easy, and because it sucks. Like I think that sometimes when the like this for example, the process of this was not easy. But because the difficulties were kind of spread out, like once I got this done, and this shawl collar part, I remember this took me about a month to do because I was having some difficulties. I would stop, put it away, get it back out, and try to work through. And there was a lot of tinking back. But then once I got past this, then it kind of flew and it was good. But I remember that this did take me a long time, and I love the finished garment. But I think because the difficult parts were just kind of at the beginning, and I knew once I got to a certain point it would be easy, I was willing to go through learning those new techniques, and going through that process. And I think because I was making this at the end of winter, I knew, well, I'm not going to actually get to wear this for a while anyways. Like I might get a couple wears out of it in the spring, but mostly it's going to be for next year. I was okay taking my time. These socks I want for the season, and so I want them now, but I also don't want to do them. Sometimes in my brain it's confusing. It's all just squirrels up there. Um, but yeah, so I have to um decide what I'm gonna do. Hopefully, I will get over this and just do the thing. I have a lot of knitting time this upcoming week, so I think that that will be helpful. I have time to work through these processes. Um, and yeah, so anyways, let me know what you are working on. And any motivation tips would be helpful. Also, let me know what knitting books you really enjoy, because I'm thinking about I'm getting my personal Christmas list together, and I'm just kind of loving analog, like working from knitting books. I like the idea that you have so many patterns. And I was just like kind of looking at Amazon going, there's not a whole lot there, but maybe it's because I'm not looking at the right titles. I know there's a Amy Herzog, I don't know if I said her name correctly, book about like just basic sweaters. I'll put a picture of what that book looks like. So I think that that's going to be something I look to either put on a Christmas list or maybe purchase at some point. But yeah, what knitting books do you really just love and think that should be in everybody's library? And maybe if I get enough suggestions, I'll do like a book review or something like that. All right, well, thank you so much, and until next time, I'll see you later. Bye.